guys, Meredith Gorman here, and are you still not subscribed to Matt's channel? Well, if you're not, hit the subscribe button because he's giving out free picks each and every week. Hope you have a good rest of your day.
UFC is back at the Apex, guys, for UFC Vegas 82, Allen versus Craig. I'll be looking at the main card like usual, providing free picks, leans, price talk, and what to avoid. Not the best card, right? Another fight night card back at the Apex. We got a few big cards coming up. We just came off another big card. A couple fights that are interesting here. Of course, I'll break those down here shortly. Client card will be available after weigh-ins. Link.me/systemcapping or systemsportscapping.com to receive all my personal plays in all sports. Currently handicapping the UFC, PGA, NFL, NHL, and NBA, a little lower volume. Black Friday and Thanksgiving sale. We do this annually, guys, for the past 3-4 years. I've been doing this every Thanksgiving. We started a week earlier this time, giving back to the clients and, you know, some people that want to try it. Maybe a lot of you just listen and haven't tried out the client service. Probably the best time to just try it out, see if it's for you. 40% off. 40% off all week long, and it's going to go right to Christmas, right? Because it's a monthly package that you guys will get for all my personal plays in all sports. 40% off, so it goes right to Christmas, right? So this goes from, even if you get the package today, it goes right to Christmas, the 25th. So take advantage of that. It is in my link me. You can find it all over my socials, or just head over to the website. Like the video, guys, if you are watching on YouTube. Rate on Spotify or Apple Podcasts if you're just a listener. We just started the Spotify and Apple Podcast option, 2 months now? 2 months ago, I would say. Around that, maybe a little less. That's been great. Good numbers over there, so I do appreciate that. Obviously, YouTube takes a little hit on numbers, but that's fine. You know, personally, I was never trying to, I never was going to make money from YouTube. Let's be honest. So I just want to get it out to as many listeners as possible. Obviously, Apple, Spotify, very popular. Free winners every week over on my TikTok and Instagram stories. We're 20-6, guys. I do short form videos, like anywhere from 30 seconds to a minute, giving out a free pick. It's over on TikTok. Okay, I'm trying to build my following over there. 20-6 since doing that. 77%. Mainly golf market. I had a soccer play. I had an NHL as well, but it's 85 to 90% golf picks, free golf picks. We know how well I do in the PGA market. So head over there. Follow me over on TikTok, Instagram. I post on the Instagram stories as well. System capping, right? Follow me over there. We have one pending for this weekend. Let's do a recap, UFC 295 recap. Tough card for me personally, back-to-back losing cards. For free play video purposes, did fine besides the main event. I did give out, if you're going to bet the Andrade and Dern fight, you bet Andrade due to the price, right? Plus 162, you could have got Andrade. There was some value there. I personally stayed off it. Aspinall as well, I gave them out as my lean. I did think that was still a 50-50 fight, right? Aspinall did get rocked in that fight, but was able to take the punches. Pavlich was not. After 2 months straight in profitable cards in the UFC, we have back-to-back losses. I did expect some regression. We're trying to get back on the right side this week. I was on the Yuri side for clients. Everything went perfect for round one. That's how I thought he needed to fight. He mixed in some wrestling. He was able to grapple, wrestle, and able to strike as well. He did hurt him on the feet, Pereira, but obviously he can take a shot, Pereira. We know that. And he got caught, Yuri, in the second round when he was trying to get him to the ground. A couple elbows on the side of the head. I thought it was an early stoppage just due to how Yuri fights, right? He came out classy, said that it wasn't. He did go out for a second or two, but then he got right back up. And we've seen Yuri at times do that, right? He been like knocked out twice. I think that the Sheriff fight he got hurt, and definitely the Reyes fight. The Reyes fight he was out quickly and then just got back up. So you do gotta, understand that as a referee. But hey, Pereira, dangerous man, right? I did think there was value on Yuri at plus money. Anytime Yuri Prochazka is going to be plus money, I will bet it, no matter what. I've been on him in pretty much every MMA fight that he's been in the UFC. I've hit him at plus money. I hit him at big favorites as well. But I've been on Yuri on every fight, so I wasn't going to stop here. Could have went either way, right? He had a chance to win that fight. Got caught. Hey, I think he comes back better. And I'll be continuing to back Yuri moving forward. Like I mentioned, Aspinall. Hats off to Aspinall, right? Big shout out to him. 50-50 fight at the end of the day, right? Who's going to land a bigger shot? Who's going to be able to take the punch? And it was Aspinall. You know, I was always high on Aspinall. I was on his previous fights. I did stay off this fight for clients just because I thought that it was very 50-50. It's a one shot. Who's going to get shot? Aspinall was able to get it. Also, the short notice was a little worrisome for me. I did give it out as a free play, but stayed away from the fight. Obviously, wish I bet Aspinall, right? Obviously, but I have a hard time seeing anyone beat him. He's just so well-rounded, right? He's very good on the feet, very quick, excellent boxing, excellent jiu-jitsu and wrestling. There's just no weakness on him, and we saw that he can take a shot, right? We saw that he can take a shot. He just has to stay healthy. I think he's going to be very difficult to beat. Obviously, a guy like John Jones could beat him. I don't see anyone else. I don't see anyone else in this UFC heavyweight division beating him, guys. John Jones, of course, right? John Jones could beat anybody. Aspinall, I think he's going to hold this belt for quite some time. I don't know if John Jones will come back and fight him, to be honest. He's going to be out a while. Aspinall will fight someone else. So that will be interesting. Maybe Almeida, maybe Gone. We'll see. We'll see who his next fight is, but that will be interesting. Let's do a UFC update here. UFC update, 69% two-fight parlays on the year. 64% average line plus money. Take a little bit of a hit. We were at, what, 66% just 3-4 weeks ago. Again, back-to-back losing cards in the UFC. Looking to get back on track this week. PGA. If we're not winning outrights, we're profiting in the prop market, guys. Continuing to beat the books most weeks in the PGA. 15 outrights on the year, just under 30,000 ticket value. Over 92 units in the prop market long term, and 9 out of 10 profitable majors, guys. NFL, 7 out of 10 profitable weeks. 11-3 run ended. Last week, we went 2-4 last week, mainly due to the Bengals, right? The Bengals ruined the week for me, ruined for Survivor. I'm not going to go over that now. Check out my NFL podcast tomorrow. You'll hear more about that. NBA and NHL have been low volume and up and down so far to start the year, just around 500, just over 500. NHL have noticed a lot of upsets. A lot of spots where are perfect for the team to win and not been playing out as of yet. Obviously, that will turn around. Usually, the NHL has been better than the NBA for me. The past 2 years, NHL, I've been hovering around 65, 66% for a full year, both years, guys. Right now, just over 500. I expect it to turn around, but we will be, betting a little smaller units moving forward in the NHL. NBA, only 5 bets so far this year. We're 3-2. Let's hear from my friend Kristen before we get into this card.
For you sports bettors out there, let's be honest, you probably need a little bit of help beating those books. System Capping is a proven long-term winner against the sports betting market in multiple sports. He's built a worldwide clientele due to his high winning percentage over the years. Be sure to click the link on the bio down here to check out his profile, and you can also find out his resume, client comments, podcasts, and subscription opportunities. I'm going to be following him along too, so let's win some money together this season.
Shop around. Shop around, and shop around some more. Have multiple books, guys. Have access to multiple sports books around the market to get the best price out there. Let's get right into a main event. Allen minus 400 versus Craig plus 300. This line's getting out of hand, right? 2 days ago, it was Allen minus 275. Minus 275. Allen, a ton of money is coming on Allen. I get it. Should he be a 4-1 favorite? No. Should he be a 3-1 favorite? Sure. Right? Matchup is good for him. On paper, it's not great for Craig. Allen will have a striking advantage here, power on the feet, very well-rounded with his wrestling and grappling as well. That's what I like about Allen, very well-rounded. Craig does well when guys, he's able to get guys down to the ground, able to have a grappling advantage. I just don't think he'll have any of that here, right? We have seen Craig at times pull off Hail Mary wins and big plus money wins, submission wins. He knocked out Munoz last time. He's always live, Craig, right? Always live. But they say punter's chance, right? It's a longer shot that Craig wins this fight. And it's just due to the matchup here. I have Allen better everywhere. So I have a very hard time seeing where Craig wins, right? Allen, great at submissions. We know Craig has a ton of submissions as well. That's what he likes to do. But, Allen's right there with him. 13 subs on Allen's record. Right? Very good submission artist. Great defense as well. Black belt. I do think Allen will want to strike, though. I think he's going to want to keep this on the feet. He's going to have a big advantage there on the feet. Craig, I don't even see Craig really pulling guard, right? We've seen him in fights before just lay on his back, say, come on me. Allen will. Allen's not going to get submitted on top. That's very low odds. Again, it could happen, right? It could happen. It's a fight. We have seen Craig do it before. This matchup is not great. I wouldn't even be surprised if Allen's not shy to bring Craig down to the ground. Allen's going to have a wrestling advantage here. I could see him bring it down to the ground, but I see this fight trying to stay on the feet. Craig's not going to just wrestle Allen down to the ground. That's not going to happen here. I expect Allen to try to just keep this on the feet and pick him apart, right? Craig's not going to hurt you on the feet if it's at range, right? How did he caught Munoz? He did TKO him. I think it was an elbow coming down on his head, right? Munoz was winning that fight, and Craig caught him with an elbow. Allen's not going to be in that compromised position. I expect him to just pick him apart on the feet. If it does get down to the ground, Allen will be fine there as well, right? If Allen wants to take this fight down to the ground, he can. If he wants to look for a submission attempt, he can. I think Craig's defense is good enough not to get submitted, but it's always possible, right? Allen, that's all he does is submit guys, right? What does he have, 3 submissions in a row? I expect him to get a finish in this fight. This fight is 5 rounds, guys. Keep in mind, this fight's not going 5 rounds, right? Just like last week, I said both fights weren't going to go 5 rounds. Weren't even close to going 5 rounds. This is another one here that, it's not going to go 5 rounds. Both guys look for finishes. Both guys never been 5 rounds before. I see this ending fairly early, first or second round, to be honest. So look to improve that Allen price, because I'm going to be on Allen here for clients. I don't know how yet. I'm not betting it at minus 400 unless I can parlay it with, like a minus 1 something. You can get that around even money or maybe even plus money depending what you're partnering with. If I really like this fight not to go the distance, I'm okay playing the, minus 250 on Allen to win by either submission, TKO, or KO, because it is a little difficult to confirm if he's going to get a submission or the TKO, KO. And why that is I can see, Allen maybe hurting Craig on the feet, then he jumps on his back and submits him, right? Or he jumps on him and gets that TKO ground and pound finish. So there's multiple avenues. I think it's a 50-50 between the submission and the TKO. So yeah, you get a good price. Like right now I see the books plus 187 for submission. Hey, that's a little value, right? So if you put a little bit on that, I wouldn't blame you. But, Allen by finish would be the play for me to improve that price. But I do think he wins. I do think he's better pretty much everywhere. Very high on him. Nice win streak over some nice guys, right? Malkoun started off with that win streak. Then Jocko, Muniz, and then Silva. Bruno Silva in his last fight. So finishes too, right? He goes out to finish fights. He's not there to win a decision, and it's 5 rounds. I would be very shocked if this goes 5 rounds. Look for Allen to win this fight. Try to bet it in some capacity. Have it on your card this weekend. Morales minus 275 versus Matthews plus 225. 15-0 for the Ecuadorian prospect right now. 3-0 in the UFC. He had his first test last time out against a good veteran, Max Griffin. Right, tough fight, went decision. Tough vet, but he did win a unanimous by decision. Morales is very well-rounded, solid wrestling, very strong with great takedown defense, over 90%. Not going to get this guy down. Matthews will try to look for that. I think he won't be able to get him down to the ground. He has power on the feet, lots of volume, over 5 significant strikes landed per minute. Matthews fairly low volume, right? A nice reach advantage as well for Morales. I think 6'7" reach advantage here. he should be able to use that. And Matthews has looked chinny before, right? I could see Morales hurting Matthews on the feet. I like Morales here, high on the guy because he does have all the tools, right? He has all the tools. Well-rounded, strong, looks the part, athletic. I think this guy could be a ranked guy within the next year or so. I wouldn't rule Matthews out completely. I wouldn't say this is a for sure Morales win and you'll go crazy on it. Matthews can be live, right? He can be live. Veteran, right? He has more fights. He does have pass to win this fight. It's just, again, going to be a lower chance, right? A lot of these guys have shots to win the fight. And that's where upsets come, right? But if you continue to bet ways of, if you're just going to say, yeah, Matthews has a chance to win this fight, let me put some value. It's tough against a 15-0 guy I'm very high on, right? We have seen Matthews, like I mentioned, chinny at times. Not really good at one path. He's a good grappler. Right? He does have some submissions. But Morales is going to be difficult to get down to the ground, right? If Matthews wins this fight, I do think it's by a submission. He catches Morales in a submission. It's possible. It's possible. I don't know too much about Morales' straight-up jiu-jitsu. I know his wrestling is very good, and he's very strong. So if Matthews does pull off a win, I think it could be by submission. So if you want to take a longer shot, take Matthews by submission and get that at a really good price. But I do think Morales wins this fight. Price is decent enough to, fit it in a 2-fight parlay. Tough to call an outcome here. I don't know. I don't know how the fight's going to end. Lean Morales by finish, but it's tough. It's tough. It's decision finish. I would say it's about 50-50 in this fight. Like I said, Matthews has been hurt in fights before, so I wouldn't be surprised if Morales get it done by finish. Hooper, minus 250 versus Levet, plus 200. I don't think Hooper should ever be minus 250. Come on. In any of his fights. How can you bet him at this price? It's just very difficult. Even though I'm not high on Levet, I'm not high on Hooper either. I do think Hooper is the rightful favorite here. But I have him at maybe minus 175. Minus 150. I don't have him at minus 250 here. I think this is an overreach, overprice here. I do understand Hooper, a good grappler, very good grappler. Don't think he'll be stronger than Levet. I think Levet could maybe even bully him with his strength, maybe against a cage, maybe even get the fight down to the ground, which could be a little dangerous due to Hooper's submission attempts and his grappling. But Levet, the problem is very low volume on the feet, not a great striker. Hooper will have it's crazy to say, but I think Hooper has a striking advantage, and he's definitely going to have a volume advantage, right? Over 5 significant strikes per minute. Levet very low at mid-2s. So I get why Hooper's favored here, right? I'll lean Hooper. It's just I can't bet Hooper at this price. Levet's always live. He's live to win this fight, right? I wouldn't count him out in this fight at all. Remember, Hooper is improving. He's super young, and he continues to get better. He was getting overvalued early in his career, but he continues to get better, training with Ben Askren. I think his wrestling is improving. I think his striking is improving overall. So I get it. I get it why he's favored. I don't get the larger price, though. So from a price standpoint, I cannot bet Hooper. I lean Hooper to get the win, but this is not going to make my client card this weekend. The dog is live here. Dog is live. Talbot, minus 1,000 versus Aguero, plus 600. Now, this is another line that's just wild. It's wild, guys. Read this line, Talbot, minus 1,000. First UFC fight. Debut, and he's a 6-0 fighter. You just can't take chances. This opened at minus 700. People are betting him up to this line. It's crazy. Now, he's a good fighter. He looks good, right? He had that Dana White Contender Series win. Looked good there. But this Aguero guy, plus 600. He has a UFC fight. He lost it. He has a few more fights. I have Talbot maybe 3 to 4 to 1 favorite here. This line is crazy. You just cannot bet this fight because of the line. You don't know how the fight's going to finish. I probably lean Talbot to get the finish. Don't get me wrong. I think Talbot wins the fight. But how do you bet it? If you're one of those dog players, plus 600, small unit, why not? Why not? You can't bet Talbot. right? So, yeah, Talbot should win this fight. The price is telling you that, but he's 6-0. He's making his UFC debut, and he's not some big-time prospect, right? He's not a guy like, oh, this guy's going to be the next champion. This guy's going to be ranked within a year or two. No, he's not that high level, at least from what I've seen so far. He needs to show me a ton more to ever think about betting him at this price. So stay away from this one, guys. If you put a little bit on his opponent at plus 600, I wouldn't call you crazy. It's not a crazy bet at all. Pinheiro plus 187 versus Ribas minus 225. Another line I think is a little off, even though Ribas should be favored due to her experience and resume, right? More value I see here with the underdog. She's 11-1. Hasn't lost a fight since 2017 in a 9-fight win streak, 3-0 in the UFC. Now, she hasn't fought many girls. She fought Waterson in her last fight. Waterson's 1 foot out the door, split decision. Some people have Waterson winning that fight. Right, but most of her wins are lower level girls, so I understand that. But it's something to say. 2017, last time she lost. 3-0 in the UFC. She shouldn't be a plus 187 underdog is what I'm seeing. You know, Ribas not living up to her hype, right? Has lost 2 of her last 3 fights. Right? Definitely a winnable fight for her because she's been fighting girls like Chukagian, Araujo, Barber. Right, losing 2 of those. We were on Barber in that fight. That was a good cash for us. You know, Ribas will probably have a striking advantage here, but not by much. You know, I do expect Ribas to throw more volume, which could be the difference here. Right, if this fight goes decision, which it probably should, improve that price. Bet Ribas by decision, get that plus 105 if you want to improve it. I don't really see a finish here. I don't know how it would finish. So Ribas by decision could be a look here. Again, it's women's MMA, guys, with mid-tier girls. When you see a price like at plus 187 for a girl that could easily win this fight, right? My line, Ribas minus 170, minus 150. That's where I would have it, right? Ribas got beat up bad in that Barber fight, so you don't know how really she's going to come back in this fight, right? Pinheiro's confident, hasn't lost for a long time. Ribas lost 2 of her last 3 against higher competition. I understand that. But maybe Pinheiro's up there as well. We don't know yet. So if I had to, again, I think Ribas does get it done. Close fight by decision. But again, value on the underdog at plus 187. Value on a lot of these underdogs, except maybe the only one I don't see. Any one of these can come through. Maybe not the plus 600 one. That's obviously lower odds. Craig, low shot. But there are value here with some of these underdogs. I think a couple of them will come through. But play is going to be Ribas. Improve that price by decision. Wouldn't be shocked, though. Like, it's not going to make my client card, but wouldn't be shocked if Pinheiro gets a win here at a good price. So smaller unit on her, I wouldn't call you crazy. She does have a path to win this fight. One last thing on this fight. Her path probably would be to get the fight down to the ground. She averages over 2 takedowns per fight. However, Ribas' takedown defense is very good. High 80s, just under 90%. So that's where I'm going to have difficulty saying that, you know, Pinheiro's going to be able to get the fight down to the ground. If it stays on the feet, Ribas probably does have a slight advantage. That will do it, guys. That will do it. Take advantage of the Black Friday sale, guys. Best time now. You're going to get all the way up to Christmas. Get some extra money for Christmas, for presents, etc. Travel expenses. I got you guys covered. NFL video tomorrow, so take a look at that. Give me a follow, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Like I always say, bet smart and know your limits. Take care.